Yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. All right, we're going to be here for a little bit. And then, we'll see if I can make it onto the second channel, but I'm going to be a little bit busy. Probably should be a little bit busy right now anyways, but we will see. We will see. It's pretty good. It doesn't have everything. Even the first edition one doesn't have everything, but it's like a fair representation of a lot of stuff, I suppose. But it's missing a few things. They only ever made 2 of them. They did some for, like, Orcs and Goblins, Empire, all that stuff, too. I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well. 6.5, 7 out of 10. Yep, I'd say that's fine. Makes sense. That's exactly where I'm at, too, on that one. It's basically a fan homage film to, like, every other movie. I feel like Alien Romulus doesn't really stand up on its own as, like, an original movie. It's just more of, here's a nod to every alien thing. That's kind of what it is, right? It's a fine film, but it doesn't really... It doesn't do much in the way of original. Not that that's a bad thing, but... Oh, Aliens is way better. Hello, Fresh. Yes. I mean, kind of. I can agree with that statement to a degree, yeah. A little bit. I mean, it wasn't even a bad movie, but it just didn't have any original, like, turbo original ideas. And there was a little bit of disrespect to Ian Holm. I'm going to call it disrespect. It was pretty bad. But overall, pretty alright movie. Pretty aight. Wasn't too bad. Just don't go into it thinking you're going to get something, like, incredible. But it was good. Yo, yo. Well, hey, don't spoil it in chat. All I'm saying is, yeah, it's an homage to other movies. Don't spoil it. Massive spoiler. I mean, I want to see the film again. I feel like the more you watch it, the more you'll kind of appreciate it, obviously, but I want to see it again. It's been a while since I've seen multiple movies, or rather a movie multiple times. In theaters, I should say. Nope, we're not painting for a while. The Nosferatu film is, it looks pretty alright. Visually, it looks good. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. There's another Evil Dead film in the works. The last one was garbage, I agree, yeah. It's not really a Dwarf Warrior, it's more of a, it's like an Argonaut Company conversion from, like, Warriors and Thunderers. It's a conversion piece. But yeah, the last Evil Dead movie was kind of shit. I agree. It was not my favorite. At all. I think I rented it at home and I'm like, you know, this should be awesome. I think it was the first movie I rented in forever, and last movie I rented in forever. It really wasn't that impressive. The first one was really good, though. The first, like, Evil Dead remake movie was great. Very gory. Very Evil Dead. I liked it. Second one, kind of missed it. Cabin in the Woods is good. It's a good film. You know, there may be things about movies that you don't like, but overall, I think most of the movies I've seen recently were still an okay watch. Not like, oh, I really wish I didn't watch them. They're all right. Two latest movies I've seen was Romulus, and it was The Watchers. I think The Watchers was actually kind of mid and bad, but it was all right. Nothing wrong with watching a film. Even if you don't like it, you can at least say, I did see it. And it may have blew ass, but, like, now I can explain why it blew ass. Black Myth Wukong's gonna win Game of the Year. Maybe. I mean, it looked all right. I'm not playing it, but it looked good. Hey, HelloFresh was good, man. I don't know about you. I'd be ordering it. That's what I'd be doing. I haven't seen either of those movies. The Planet of the Apes films were supposed to be really, really good, but I haven't seen them. Like, I saw the originals and I liked them, but we're talking the new ones with, like, Andy Serkis as the main guy. I think I saw the first one. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of, like, Chinese mythology either. I think aesthetically the game is very intriguing, but it's not my favorite thing. It's cool, though. There's no doubt about that. It is cool looking, but the content itself doesn't really appeal to me, I suppose. Deep Dark from 2023. I've never heard of that. What's it about? A lot of these indie fan films that kind of go under the radar, some can be really nice, yeah. Nautilus's kid is fine. Just rework Graves, dude. Graves is so shit. That kit is so boring. Or maybe it's not boring, that's why I keep playing it, but... Save him! Save him! Why is this so bright? Save it, brother. Mochi, what's up, baby Mochi? Me and Mochi are here, alone, for 3 days. Mochi, we're here alone. You don't get it. You don't know English, but it's fine. Ivana's gone to see family. So me and baby Mochi are here. You know what? I think I've actually seen that movie. I've seen like a recap of it on YouTube. I think I've actually seen that. It's a very creepy looking, like, big skeletal creature thing. Right? I actually think I did see... I think I saw that movie. Yeah. There's a lot of movies that are kind of, you know, it was all right. I saw it. Well, I saw like a breakdown of it, and it was pretty much the whole movie, so I'm down. It's all right. These Hello Fresh dwarves? Why wouldn't they be? Of course. Of course they are. They've got to be. Eli, yo, buddy. I mean, you could talk about a movie that's no one's ever seen. Yeah, that's fine. If it's an indie film, I don't think you've got people, you know, clawing at the walls and telling you not to spoil it. I think you're okay. Well, I mean, a toothbrush is meant for pushing debris off the Mini. I don't know about giving it a personal touch. When you go around sanding the shit out of everything, you kind of need to get debris off it. Just a little bit. I do both. This is for playing. This is a Spearhead. The easiest thing to make, but the hardest thing to wrap your head around if you want to convert. Yeah, I mean, look, I haven't seen... Okay, it was like super late at night with the movie, and I had seen like a breakdown of it. I mean, it kind of reminded me of that one episode with like, I don't know if you've seen Love, Death, and Robots, where it's like this giant chain Cthulhu, old one thing. Like, those are always cool ideas, but the problem is with those, it's like you want to know more and they never give you more because that's kind of the idea. It's like you can't comprehend it, or it's past your, well, you just can't comprehend it. I guess that's just it, right? You can't comprehend what you're looking at. Well, hey, there you go. That's creepy. It's so creepy. It speaks words. It says words. I mean, most of these entities have been around longer than humanity, and they've kind of seen humanity grow. I would imagine it knows something. Or it could just be like an ancient evil, and it's just evil for the sake of evil, but it usually has some sort of sentience. What time is it? 6:15? Okay. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Rank 1 streamer chef. Yeah. I'm still here. The food was good. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Courage the Cowardly Dog is legit. I wish they'd redo that. I wish they'd bring it back. It was so cool. Very fucking creepy as a kid, but, like, it was cool. A lot of, like, unsettling things. It's like if they took every bit of, like, the weird SpongeBob shit and they put it into a show, it'd be Courage the Cowardly Dog. All the weird SpongeBob art. I'm happy they finished Samurai Jack. You don't think it'd do well if it kept going? I feel like a lot of these older shows would be great if they just kept them around, but, like, you know, maybe the audiences aren't there anymore. They'd get canceled. What about the Ripping Brothers? Remember that show? With the indigestible wad. It's the indigestible wad. I can't be eaten. They usually remake them and ruin them. Well, because they try to make them for, like, modern audiences, and they try to just do too much that takes away from, like, what everyone loved initially with the show. It's like... Same thing with movie adaptations or anything. It's like, you know, stick to the source material. People love that stuff for that stuff. Some people don't, but for those that do, it's just kind of... That's why they love it. Flapjack was weird. They had a few weird things. And Tornio, buddy. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That was alright. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, I am not in the 3D printing game no more. 3D printing, no good for me. Maybe one day I'll get back into it, but... I feel like 3D printing gives me a headache because I feel like when I have one set up, I could sit there for 30 hours trying to sculpt something and then print it. And that's just, like, very sickening to think about. Like, doing your own sculpts and everything is so intriguing, but at the same time, you need to just know when to quit, like when to put it down. Jimmy Neutron. That's another one. If you're printing other people's shit, great, but, like, there is a little bit of intrigue to, like, doing your own stuff and perfecting it. Dexter was that little, like, fucking nerdy-ass scientist guy. Dog Cat? I know Dog Cat, but nah. Printing what others have made. For me, it's mostly the hunt for good STLs. Oh yeah, there's a million out there for sure. You could spend all day looking for good stuff that you could just print for spending like $5. Working on Space Wolves at the moment, just printed some parts. That's cool. Yeah, like, again, man, printing bits and making your own parts and everything, or finding other people's parts is awesome. It's great. It's very, very appealing. The possibilities are endless. Absolutely endless with this hobby. I am gonna play Space Marine 2, yeah, for sure. A wearable Space Marine helmet. I mean, you could take an STL and make it life-size and do anything you want with it. It is an endless supply of hobbying. Fireteam Elite was sick, yeah. There's another one coming out, supposedly. Conan Exiles. I mean, dude. Isn't that an older game? And it's like an MMO? Or is it not an MMO? Don't think it's an MMO, actually. Something like Rust. Rust, I heard, was such a horrid community. Everyone's just such a degenerate troglodyte. There's no saving Rust. It's like League, but worse. Rust is horrible. Yeah. I don't know, man. People just gravitate and be weird. People are just fucking weird. Elden Ring's probably got a toxic... Every fandom is a little bit toxic. Every fandom. Not gonna say, oh, I'm a saint in all of them, you know. I feel like in Warhammer, I'm not toxic. League of Legends, I can be toxic. That's just a whole different beast, but, like... Yeah, no, there's definitely very toxic fandoms, for sure. Toxic fandoms. DRG could be pretty alright, yeah. I mean, it's a PvE game. I would imagine the people of PvE... Although, so is Elden Ring, but, like, you know... I feel like there's maybe more elitists in that community. Hey, Helldivers is a cult. I don't know. A little bit of a cult. Not really my thing, but I... 2 double chicken sandwiches with a large cola and a bucket of fries and a lot of onion rings. Sounds like you're on a diet, brother. Keep it up. Healthiest North American in chat. Let's go. Can't blame the man. A real American diet. The real American hero, Tobias Fate. Brackheart, thank you, buddy. Kazook! Yes, dwarf speech. The dwarves are on the warp path. Thank you, sir. Seems almost last year that we got the dwarf update. It was no time ago, but it feels like forever. Unfortunately. Carrick Norn, that's cool. Not many people do Norn. Come to think of it, nobody does Norn. And not many people do Norn. Ready your axes. I always thought it'd be cool to kind of paint up one dwarf per hold, just to kind of, like, get the gist of the colors. But some of the holds don't even have colors. Bronze and copper. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Any lore-friendly stuff is always great. Yeah, that was an interesting thing. I don't play campaign, but I did see that, and I'm like, damn, the dwarves are getting some pretty juicy content. Because, I mean, the anatomy of a dwarf hold's pretty nutty. So to just get more of that is pretty cool. More of it is excellent. Even if I was to play Total War again, I'd just go play multiplayer. I'm not really a big campaign guy. Campaign, you eat well. Multiplayer, you're eating, like, dirt off the side of the road. Yep. Well, I mean, you could base your colors off of whatever you so choose. If you really like Total War's kind of got a pretty established color scheme across the board for every hold. You know, you can flip through older books and, you know, novels and whatnot, and maybe there's a mention of certain colors for certain holds. I would just say whatever you think makes sense to you is what I'd go with. Because with Total War, and then with the books, and then with the army books, it's like, yes, there will be kind of super air quote, you know, retcon of a color, whatever it may be, but yeah, whatever works, man. These guys are most likely going to be kind of turquoisey for Zufbar. I don't think Zufbar's really had any sort of color swaps. I think they're kind of always turquoisey, I believe. I may have to... There's one book that actually is based out of Zufbar. And I had read it. I just can't remember if there was ever mentions of, like, hold colors or, you know, banners and whatnot, but pretty sure it's turquoise. Not long. I gotta go soon. Why are you brushing it? I'm just getting off plastic debris. I kind of like the purple of Barakvar. I think it looks good. Yeah, purple works, yeah. Purple is very... You know what you'd think? Like, Krasakarak would be purple. Like, purple's a very regal, like, you know, prestigious-looking color. And you've got it for Brakvar, which, all right, you know, some pretty genius dwarves there, I get it, but... Imagine Thorgrim in, like, I don't know, hammerers with, like, purple, like, cloaks, and then they've got their Gromril or something. Like, that'd look pretty dope. Purple and gold is very classy. I'd have to look at it again. I know turquoise is kind of like the main color. I'm not sure if there's yellows, but as long as I throw the turquoise in, I don't care what else is on there. A lot of dwarves are just kind of leathers and, you know, different types of, like, metals. So... I am totally okay with a little bit of turquoise and then whatever. You brush the figures better than I brush my teeth. Hard to make from natural resources. Yeah, makes sense. For sure. It's very, you know, you may think like, oh, purple on dwarves. Purple's for the girly elves, but it's like, dude. Like, if you want to play the Royal Clans, and you have a bunch of dwarf warriors in purple and gold, that would look so legit. It wouldn't look like a horde of elves. Although, you know what? Dark elves are kind of purple usually. Either way. The girly elves. It's only a snail in France or something that can produce natural purple. Well, there you go. The dwarves are squishing snails. They're off squishing Bretonian snails. Bretonia! The damnable wine drinkers. No, not really. Well, sometimes you poke yourself and you bleed, but, like, nothing crazy. I do have to go soon, though. I wasn't really planning on streaming long anyways, but today's a little bit of a busy day. Tomorrow's going to be a bit busy. Sunday, I'm going to probably be gone for a bit as well. I can still make time to stream. Like, right now, I've got a little bit. That's why I'm on here, but I do have a few things to do. We've got a couple of things. It's the weekend. Everyone has, yeah. See, the beauty of miniature making is that you can kind of go back and fix it, right? It's only permanent if you really severely fuck it up, but, like, there's a lot of ways to kind of, you know, correct your problems. Every time you make a figure, it's a learning process. Anytime you sculpt, anytime you paint, you're kind of like, you know, you're fucking something up, and you'll only get better in time, and, you know, keep doing it, right? It is a learning experience. You do the best you can. Yeah. You can stick, cork is good for, like, everything. You want to paint minis, you can tack them to cork, you can do anything with cork. It's a good little bit of, like, tool to have just to kind of, you know, move stuff around with. There's a lot of tools in this hobby, and most of them you don't need. Although, you know what? It's cool to find some that you do. I would say one of the best tools I've ever used was this sponge. Sanding sponges are incredibly good. If you don't use them, you should probably use them. They do everything you want, and it's super, super easy. I'd even say it's better than sandpaper, but it doesn't do what sandpaper can do sometimes. This is more of like a very rounded out, you know, I'm going to scrape over half of everything and just finish it off. and it's good. I played Heroes, yeah. I wouldn't go back to Heroes, but I've played a lot of it in the past. I played Muradin, I played Murky, I played Tychus, Raynor, Abathur, Lost Vikings. I played a lot of characters. My favorite, though, was Lost Vikings. Muradin was alright, but he's very basic. Lost Vikings are, like, the best of both worlds. It's complex, and it's, like, semi-dwarvish. Yeah. I only, like, well, I mean, Lost Vikings, you had to play 3 characters at once, right? You soaked 3 lanes of experience, and then you leveled up and kind of team fought and all that crap, but that was the hardest character in the game for sure. You played 3 separate characters. If you were like some, you know, Korean StarCraft pro and you played Lost Vikings, you'd fucking kill everyone. So the way it works is you're 3 separate characters. When one of them dies, they respawn and they have to run from base. The only way you played as one character was when you brought them all together or when you ulted, which means you had to have them all together. So each one of them could die, essentially. They're like 3 separate entities. They all did different things. One of them was fast, one of them was tanky, one of them did damage. And then, of course, when they all came together, they kind of, you know, did their thing. Their ultimate was cool. Their longboat ultimate. There was another one, but I forgot what it was. I think it was just like a respawn. You get to all have them respawn or something. Cool character, though. Or characters. You know who also is in the Lost Vikings? JB Blanc. I'm 99% sure JB Blanc voices the Middle Viking. I'm 1000% sure. I do paint them, yeah. I haven't painted in a while, but I've got a couple things. Right now, we are just building. I've got a couple of things to finish before I paint these guys, but... no, you buy them together. You could buy them on eBay individually, but no one does that anymore. Or you know what? Sometimes people do, just depending on what they need. No, I don't paint them on... I haven't painted them in a while on stream. Well, you know when you're done, when you kind of are satisfied with what you're doing. It's a matter of, am I happy with it? If so, then I'm done. And this is, you know, like, when it comes to minis, when it comes to anything, when you do it yourself, you'll always feel like you're never done. But you need to know when to put it down. You need to know when enough is enough. And when to just trust the process. That, like, okay, when I start painting them, you're not going to see half of the problems. If there is any. So, like, I can kind of see what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to round out things and sand things down that look a little gross. And when I'm completely satisfied with it, then, like, you know, we're done, right? It is just about knowing when to put the fucking thing down and be done. My next project is the Shock Attack Gun Big Mech. I've got 10 of them. You want one? You can have 2. I've messed up a few, and I have spares, but not overdone them now. I've been working on these minis for about a month straight now, and I'm pretty satisfied to where I've gotten them. I'm not looking back, I'm only looking forward. I need to kind of, like, trust the process. Because, again, when you kind of do your own stuff, when you convert your own things, and you make up your own minis, you can kind of view it as, like, well, I could have done better if I spent 30 more hours on it, but no one's going to sit there for 30 more hours. Why would I need more? Why not? Here's his arm. Right there. He's gangplank queuing you on crit. Gangplank crit Q! Yeah. You just gotta trust the process and what you're doing. At one point, it may look like complete dog shit, but you can make it work. You just gotta give it more time, and you'll get there. Trust the process. No, I've got a bunch of pistols in this group. I don't really want to put any shooting. Cool idea, though. I've seen people do that, where they've got, like, bullets flying out of guns and shit, and it looks great, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. I gotta clean all these up. I will drill the barrels. Yeah, I will. Of course. You need to drill the barrels. And if you don't drill them, you need to put a dot of black paint to make sure it looks like it's drilled. You have to. It's very bizarre if you don't. It's unacceptable if you don't. You could do that. I mean, it's more of like, how long does that last if you're using it as a game piece? Because you got to remember, half of these things are going to be played with in like a tabletop game. It needs to be durable. It'd look a little bit better with like resin. A resin like puff of smoke. Nario, buddy. We are unfortunately about to get out of here. I've done basically all I had to do. I figured I'd get on for a little bit. It's only been about an hour. But I was able to... I think I spent about 3 hours this morning cutting out bits. I actually did Warhammer off stream, and unironically, I was about to do a League game off stream as well. So I've kind of worked on this a little bit today. I'll pay you to stay. Poro Agony. Are you going to pay me to stay? Yeah? You going to give me some money? No, I do have to leave, actually, for a little bit. You want to buy another plushie? I got more of them. You want to buy a signed art print? I got those too. I just got back into the hobby, found a heap of minis from that. That's cool. Yeah, which minis? Old minis are the best. Maybe not like turbo old minis, but late 90s, early 2000s, those are my favorites. I guess that's all of them, though, now. My son's a bit lonely, so I'll think about it. Fuck you want to buy another one for, what? Hey, if you want to, bro, that's on you. Legion of the Damned. Oh, those are good. Legion of the Damned is, those are pretty cool. You know what I kind of miss with the Necrons? I miss the old destroyers. Not the ancient, like, rogue trader looking things, but I'm talking about, like, the Necron revamp destroyers that are, like, half Scarab, half Necron. For some reason, those are, like, very, very iconic Necron units for me. And I still remember the acrylic, like, plastic rods you'd put in. Those are great. Very 2000s. No, I'll go with glue. The only reason I'm not gluing it yet is because I want to finish off everything under it. Like this pose in particular is very closed off. It kind of blocks a lot of detail, whereas all the other ones kind of have open, like open, you know, chest out type of thing. Like this one's a little bit blocking it, but it's fine. So I'm just doing it last. Like even this one's pretty all right. So it'll just be glued on last. Once I know everything around here is done, I'll glue it and I'll paint it like that just because I don't want to sub-paint these things. This is a Spearhead, not a competition piece, but I wanted to make it look nice, but also paint them as entire minis. GW's Demon Prince of Nurgle is just too gross. I like the old, the new Demon Prince looks nice, but it doesn't really, if you give it like a Nurgle head, it doesn't really look like a Nurgle one, you know? It kind of misses the mark with making them look very unique, I suppose. All right, after this song, I do gotta go, folks. But I did achieve what I wanted to, and that's good. I'm just about ready to putty the rest of these guys, and then they're kind of done for a little bit. Progress. Progress is good. Reading anything lately? No, I'm not, unfortunately. I have no time to read. I'd love to. I want to go buy a few books. I'm after a couple that I've seen on eBay for a pretty decent price, like 20 bucks. I have not read anything in months. About a month or two, probably, yeah. I would like to read, but I cannot read right now. All right. And with the song ending, I will also be going. So, hey, with that being said, peace, folks. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for hanging out. And I will be on maybe later tonight. Probably later tonight. I just need like an hour or two to go get a few things done. And then we'll probably stream League because I do miss playing. I want to fucking play Graves. And yeah, that's it for me, folks. Be well. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you later. Peace, folks. Peace, peace.